but all those bands who fought me as a musician, as a guitarist,
Yeah.
were coming from the United States. I was in love with most American bands like Modred, Anthrax. You mentioned whatever you want from America back then, and I
Hmm.
was studying and practicing over those bands. Of course, at the same time, I didn't want to copy them. And I underline, of course, I'm not American, so my influences, my history, my culture is Italian, hence European. But I was really finding so weird that we have been pushed into the European power metal, which it may even be right, but you understand my point of view. I always struggled with this because it sounded like it wasn't completely fitting the band.
Yeah, so it's funny you mentioned that there are bands in when you talk about American power metal, you always have a little bit of a much darker sound to the music, as opposed to in Europe. It's a little bit not lighter, but not as dark. Probably a little happier.
Yeah.
And you get
Sorry, what we were calling the European power metal in the early days? Happy metal.
yeah, right. And I don't feel Labyrinth is happy metal. I would say that they are a little
Exactly.
bit more of a darker
Exactly.
thing. Yeah. So
Exactly.
so you're big on thrash metal. So did you grow up on like the Bay Area scene, like Exodus or Testament?
Absolutely. All
Yeah.
the bands you mentioned, I know every album from them. One of
Yeah.
my all-time favorite bands, Modred,
Hmm.
Forbidden. So I'm in love with that kind of music, that style. The Bay Area has been a big influence to me as a guitarist. My favorite band, my favorite guitarist is a band. I guess you know them. It's Toxik.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So Think This, the album was released, it blew my mind off completely. All my style, what you can hear without Think This, the album from Toxic, I wouldn't play the things you can hear and listen to in on Return to Heaven Denied.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I've had Josh, the guitar player, on my show.
Josh Christian and Gross is my god, my guitar god.
Yeah,
Josh
and
Christian.
they had a new album come out, and that
Yeah,
album was phenomenal. Yeah, that dude
yeah,
is. I mean, he's actually a really nice guy, and that dude really. I mean, he has such a unique playing style for thrash metal that, like, if
yeah.
I hear him play, I can tell it's him because he doesn't sound like anybody, not even in
Absolutely.
heavy metal, but even in thrash metal in general. And it's interesting you mention that because those those first two Toxic albums are so
Yeah,
ahead
what
of their time.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They were coming from another dimension. Imagine back then. I mean, it was such a new music. It was trash, but there
hmm,
was much more than trash. The voice, especially in Think This, was so melodic, and they even added a ballad. There's Still Defense was the song,
yeah,
and it was not belonging to a trash album. So
yeah,
I was a teenager, and I was saying, "What's going on? There's something going on here. There's something new coming," and that's when I got these influences, and I say, I don't want to be put into a single style and play the same song forever and ever.
yeah. No, and again, that's cool, man, because not many people mention some of the lesser known thrash bands that were really good. So, because they came out with an album this morning not long ago, Toxic did, and that album was like it was insane how good that record
Really,
was.
yeah, absolutely. You
Yeah.
said the right word, insane. Great album.
And
I
that's
loved
the
it.
best, and that's the best way to describe his songwriting because it's so different from everybody. I That's the best way to describe it for me, and insane in a good way, And so, yeah, it's interesting you say that because when I do listen to a lot of these songs that you've put out, and even stuff that you've done over the years, I do hear in your guitar playing, especially your rhythm playing, I hear a little bit of thrash metal in that, but because
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because you have, you're writing different kinds of songs, but those elements exist. I think it's cool that you mentioned that band definitely.
Of course, I don't want to copy anyone,
Yeah.
but my roots come from there, definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
now, so out of curiosity, one of the things I've always wondered for years. Hey, everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching. And if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video. And if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.